Michael, fresh from a trip away in Turkey, do you feel like the batteries have been recharged?
Yeah, a little bit. I can't complain too much. No, it was a nice few days away, especially with the family. I think that was the most important thing, to get my mind off the darts a little bit, because it is important and really busy schedule. So, yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, and I think that's the only thing what matters.
There's 4 weeks to go, you know, nothing lost yet, still in it. But yeah, one big push, 4 weeks, and I have to admit I've took a bit of time off lately, feel fresh, so hopefully I can get my best stuff out in the next 4 weeks where I need it.
I need to make sure I'm going to start my preparation in a minute really good, and I think then I can show something special again. I feel good, so that's the most important one.
It's good, yeah, to play well. It's nice to go up on stage in front of so many thousand and the viewers to sort of perform and stuff. But yeah, if you don't get the results, it's a bit tough, you know.
I know exactly what's at stake at the moment, and I need to make sure I'm going to get points at this stage. Last week I made it myself incredibly difficult, and you need to make sure you keep on top of things and make it yourself a little bit easier. And I only can do that with making sure I'm going to win tonight.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome back to the action. It's coming to you live on Sky Sports from the great city of Birmingham. It's the BetMGM Premier League, all brought to you by the Professional Dance Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the players. Would you please welcome the winner of 2 European Championships, 5 World Series titles. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the World Match Play and the former champion of the world, Voltage, Rob Cross. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of 158 PDC titles worldwide, a 7-time Premier League champion, and a 3-time champion of the world, mighty Michael.
Before we head to the semis, a big matchup, this one, between Michael van Gerwen, who is in 5th, a couple of points outside the playoffs now after Nathan Aspinall's win earlier on, and Rob Cross in 6th. Just 3 points separating the pair ahead of this quarter-final matchup. Well, Michael van Gerwen has still only been in one final and still without a night win, which sounds surprising really, doesn't it? 13 weeks in. The quarter-finals largely haven't really been the issue. It's more what comes after that. Beat Luke Littler at this stage last week, then lost to Luke Humphries in the semi. So can he push on? I mean, he's going to need to, isn't he, in order to make it to the O2. So will Rob Cross, to be fair. He's not far off it. And we've seen some good stuff from Voltage. We kind of just need to see more of it. 7 semi-final appearances this season, not made a final yet. And 1 meeting this Premier League season between these two former world champions. That was on week 4, went to a last leg decider, and Rob Cross came out as winner. So who wins this meeting then? To talk you through it, let's head to comms and join Mark Webster and Rod Studd.
Hi there, Emma. Well, Michael van Gerwen's eyes watering just a little bit there, and I think Gerwen Price made Luke Humphries' eyes water with that epic fight back in quarter-final 3, and the Iceman awaits the winner here between Cross and van Gerwen. Van Gerwen currently on a 17-night drought without a nightly win, stretching back to April 2024. And Rob Cross has never won a Premier League night in this format. This is his 29th attempt. Well, great to be aboard the Premier League train, being driven to its next starting destination by Professor John Part. Good evening, John.
Good evening. And, well, I mean, coming off the back of that spectacular Price-Humphries confrontation, you really get the juices flowing and feeling like this could be something special as well. We know that these past world champs are capable of, and both needing points, maybe the most desperate of the lot coming into these quarterfinals tonight to get something happening.
That's what John Part is talking about. Well, Rob Cross, will he be the boss in Birmingham? Van Gerwen, as I mentioned, has not won a Premier League night since week 11 2024, and that was in Birmingham. Do you believe in that kind of mumbo-jumbo type omen, John?
100.
Well,
or is it just a dartboard on the wall? It makes no difference where they're playing.
Well, it'll definitely give a player a good vibe to be somewhere he's won before, and he'll remember for sure.
59.
You know, it doesn't make the win any easier. You have to go out and start all over and try and do it. But yeah, it's the smallest of helps, but it's better than having a horrible record here.
105.
I won't get you to talk us through your record in Birmingham, John, match by match. Cross will want 56. Well, John tries to remember what happened in Birmingham when he had the darts in his hand. 2-dart combo. Will it be 20 for 36? It will. There's the 20 for Roberto to eye up double 18. There it is. Good start. 14-dart leg for Rob Cross. Well, Van Gerwen has been in and out, you'd have to say, in the Premier League. And Cross certainly has a better seasonal average by a couple of points. And even if you look at the most recent data since
60.
week 9, when Van Gerwen didn't play, following on from that, Cross still has a better average than the Green Machine. Though Van Gerwen had that great performance on the Euro Tour where he won there, but that seems to be a bit of an outlier, really.
Well, you know, it is kind of mystifying because of everything you've just said, but Cross is 3 points behind Van Gerwen. That's the bottom line here. Cross is not doing as well as Michael van Gerwen, and Michael will be feeling maybe more realistically in the hunt for the top 4 right now. And maybe looking just a little more frustrated thinking about that, perhaps.
And you could add it into the paradoxical conundrum that you were alluding to, John, by saying that they've met once in the Premier League this year in Exeter, because this is a repeat of the Exeter quarterfinals, and Cross won that and all 6-5. Got a better average, he won the head-to-head, and yet he's behind Van Gerwen on the league ladder. There you are.
140.
Well, I think despite who he's playing, Rob Cross is the most mysterious, hard to predict result-wise player there is. He seemingly plays so well and somehow doesn't bear fruit from it.
Yes, I think he's the modern-day Kim Huybrechts. The Hurricane did that a lot in the Premier League. Tops here for MVG.
42.
Can't find it, so there's a squeak here for Rob Cross, but it's a long shot, but at least it is a shot. Treble 18. Needed to find it for 2 double tops, you would think. And now he's at the mercy of MVG. Will it be Mike the Merciless? Tops. There it is. Which denies us a chance to see Rob Cross, realising he'd left double one. In any regard, it's one each early on in the piece. Something that tickled you, John Parr.
Yeah, well, I mean, that just maybe is an explanation of how he keeps his averages up higher, because he just helped his average there considerably.
Did indeed, and he's 2 up on the maxi count. He's 2-1 up on the maxi count.
You know, again, I was saying how we just watched a wonderful match, when well played and great timing. But look, this match has all that potential right here to follow it up.
99.
Well, it's only a couple of weeks, isn't it, since Cross was involved in an absolute Premier League epic against Littler in Rotterdam, when he missed a dart for a 3-figure combination outshot to win 6-5 before Littler took out a big finish to win 6-5. Great game. That was an epic, and another defeat for Cross that gained him absolutely 0 points despite playing brilliantly against the world champion.
Yeah, his reward for brilliant play that week was the drop to 7th in the table.
Well, is this the chance for Van Gerwen to get a break of throw early doors? And he needs one, remember. Rob Cross, 1-2-4 to deny Van Gerwen a shot at 130. Treble 18 for voltage. Not on, so Van Gerwen 130, a more than presentable
63.
opportunity.
Michael, you're upon 130.
He's the treble. To leave bullseye now. Oh, FDG! OMG! 2-1 up with the 130.
Yeah, just a magnificent outshot on a break opportunity. And that will hurt Rob Cross. You know, he knows it could happen, but you don't need to see it happen. And when it comes down to the bull, you're thinking, well, that's better than as if it was a double 5, perhaps, and just didn't work out. And
well, this is
the averages defy, do they not?
This is the Rob Cross 2025 Premier League campaign in microcosm, because he sees his opponent take out the 130 on the bullseye. His average is 12 points above his opponent, and he's getting beat 2-1 with a break of throw against him. And he must be thinking, this is the same every week.
Well, it goes to the credibility of averages, and generally speaking, only wins where there's a whitewash are the truly credible average of how someone played. And if you're not winning legs, your average can be telling tales.
95.
Well, a wise man once coined the phrase déjà vu, or was it a raving madman who coined that phrase? In any regard, it is déjà vu. Rob Cross suffering again. That will ease the pain, but only if he can level the match with the break, and he's going to have to take out the 41 first. If he muffs the opportunity, it'll be more pain.
Well, maybe instead of getting over the bar, he needs to get under the bar. A little darting limbo here. Take out 41. Break straight back.
Double 16. That would come as a huge relief, because otherwise we'd be behind Van Gerwen thinking not the bullseye finish again, because that was on offer to MVG, but he's never going to look at it. 2-2.
Yeah, there's already a couple of twist turns in this match, and well, I talked about in the first match did tonight, the opening match tonight, about how it can be quite a quick format, but times it can be a delicious format. You savor it as it goes, and it goes back and forth, and no real leader taking control. It's a battle all the way, and you really get your money's worth in these sort.
Well, so far we've seen 3 quarterfinals. In the first one, a lacklustre, and you might say lackadaisical Luke Littler early on in the piece against Stephen Bunting. Littler in trouble early, but getting home in the end, 6-5. Then Aspinall dominant for the most part against Dobie, but he fumbled for a finish and missed 7 match starts before winning that. And then in the third quarter-final. Luke Humphries in charge at 5-3, but Gerwen Price came roaring back, the Welsh Dragon, to get home in a last-leg shootout. Epic fight back from the former world champion. And now, 2 apiece between Cross and Van Gerwen in our final quarter-final. Good night's darts in Birmingham up to press, and no mistake. Loose visit gives Van Gerwen a chance for what would be a third consecutive break of throw.
Yeah, he needs all the 20s he can get after hitting 7 the first, and kind of takes the pressure off of Cross, although we left the finish. But Cross should be thinking this is basically a setup visit. Leave a double, pressure Van Gerwen.
Well, scratchy, very scratchy, and after the 130 outshot, you can't rule this out, because if he can pitch the first start perfectly, then it really is on for MVG. Nearly, but not close enough.
Unlucky with that second dart. It really suffered to only get 45 there. And Cross won't mind, because he didn't really do much to help himself. He got that third dart treble 18, but he needs that 1 dart at double he's earned to go in.
And it is in, and he is in front for the second time in the match. Led 1-0 and now leads 3-2, Roberto.
97.
Remember, the prize for the winner here, 2 competition points minimum and a semi-final against Gerwen Price.
Yeah, that's you know, they would have been aware of what a battle that last match was, and certainly aware that whoever wins this, it won't be any picnic in that semi-final.
58.
Well, Gerwen Price, of course, John, has won his last 4 darts matches in the Premier League, stretching back to last week in Liverpool when he won all 3. Quarter-final, semi-final, final, that was against Humphries. He's beaten Humphries in 2 consecutive
60.
Premier League darts matches, and that's some feat. Although Humphries is having a bit of a wobble. Was top of the table, I think, by 7 points very early on in the Premier League after a couple of nightly wins, but it's been scratchy since for Cool Hand, and though he will be in the playoffs, he's going into the playoffs without what you would say, John, without momentum, I think, at the moment.
100.
Yeah, and
does that matter?
And he could have people passing him, and you know, it's funny enough, he's behind Luke Littler in the table, but he'll actually want Luke to shoot down Nathan Aspinall and prevent the charge up behind him. It's in Luke Humphries' position. It's funny how the twists and turns of this change who you're rooting for in other matches, but you kind of practically have to look at it and say, listen, this is going to help more than another result.
Finds it. Double 19. Oh, it's just underneath.
Of course, the only results you control are the matches you're in. Moments like this define the results. So treble 19 to leave double 60.
No, so Van Gerwen with a choice now. Does he go straight at that double 19 he just missed narrowly, or split this to leave something more preferable? Splitting. Double 14. Double 7. Well, I can't believe that he went 10 for double 14. It was 6 he was aiming for, and he missed the big number. Then he missed the first dart at double, and then he missed the opportunity you thought, but he managed to tidy it up on double 7.
I think what went a long way to making it successful is there was no hesitation after the miss on the single. He knew exactly where he needed to go. Don't make a big scene about it. Get on with it like that was your plan, and you're going to be more successful than indeed he was.
Well, mediocre pub players would throw somewhere in the vicinity of the wire between double 6 and double 10. We're not talking about that level of Arrowsmith here. Van Gerwen was aiming at 6 and pulled it.
Yeah, definitely an errant dart, and definitely something that would irk him. But he didn't let it show in the moment. He got on with the throw. He knew exactly what he needed to do, and he got it done.
It doesn't matter what route the journey takes, John, as long as it gets to the darting destination of a double. And that's what happened, and it's in the legend, 3 each.
Yeah, earlier in the evening, Stephen Bunting had 65, hit the 50 first dart. I mentioned the same sort of thing. You do not stand over it like, oh, that's unfair or whatever, or I made a big mistake. Just get on with it as if that's exactly what you meant.
Right.
and you will be successful more often.
And he's got on with it here, John, and he's in pole position to regain the lead here, Michael van Gerwen. No question.
133.
140 plays 170, and Van Gerwen is at the hockey. And that is in. And this is on for double 10.
120.
That would have been a hammer blow, and he will still be back for 20 unless Cross can reel in the big fish.
I think we know he's fully capable, but it won't be on this one.
60. Michael, you require 20.
Van Gerwen leads.
Michael van
And
Gerwen.
I'll tell you what, Rob Cross seemed in control of this darts match when 3-2 up, and the way that the sixth leg was panning out, it seemed as though he could get the cushion of a two-leg lead. But he didn't, and now he's in trouble.
And again, though, there's could be another twist and turn in this. Although Michael's trying to make sure there is no further change of momentum, as you said, and
93.
a small bit of frustration showing in the Cross visit. Although he did pick off treble 18 third dart.
40.
Well, see, now that's a mistake and an opening. As good as the 180 was, the 40 is just like a loud wake-up call for Rob Cross to say, wait a minute, you have a chance here. And he answers that opportunity very well.
Eighth leg of the match, and looks like a very important one here. That last dart treble in the green bit is worth much gold for Van Gerwen, because without a treble there, Cross was really sniffing something.
But Cross could leave a finish. He needs another treble, though. Gets it.
28.
And it was Van Gerwen who missed the 140 out in the last leg. Ended up winning the leg anyway, but
What a setup turn. Oh, that really could be a big blow, because Van Gerwen now is going to be looking for 5-3. Rob Cross going for the World Championship route there, 54s. But Van Gerwen now is looking at tops. And that is a 5-3 lead to Michael Van Gerwen.
okay, well, much like our last match now, Rob Cross has the throw going in 5-3 down, and he's got to remember, he only needs one break of throw to pull this off, like Gerwen Price did against Luke Humphries.
Van Gerwen looking for a first nightly win of the year and what would be an 11th of his career.
140.
This is his 61st Premier League night in this current Premier League format. Won 3 in 22, 3 in 23, 4 in 24, none in 12 attempts in 25. Is this the night for MVG when it comes back together? Look, let's have it right. He'd like to wrap it up here 6-3, but the 10th leg is potentially the big one for Van Gerwen, because he has the darts then. Oh my word, he might not need a 10th leg if Cross keeps flinging them there.
75.
Yeah, kind of a sort of opportunity for Michael here, but he's not doing anything with it.
86.
Both players playing very close to their tournament average. Cross 98.5, Van Gerwen 96.5. And yet MVG is 2 legs up.
So we know there's no imposters tonight. And that, all things being equal, will give Rob Cross 2 darts to get back within a single leg of Van Gerwen and ask him to serve it out. He's got choices here. 14 for tops. Well, that's what he was going for, and he's bodged the first dart. Now he's on 43. And he picks double 16, having initially wanted to go for tops. Will that make any difference? No, it does not. The hardest part, I thought, there was hitting the 11 was to get another single 11, because he was right at the top of the segment. He had a little contact getting past it. Once he did get that 11, that 32, he felt pretty good with.
Well, Rob Cross here has got to be thinking, I need to finish this off in 12 darts or fewer against the throw.
81.
Yeah, you at least need to keep pace.
81. $96. $59.
Well, it's time for a Big Max for Rob Cross to try and pull himself out of a pickle. And it's just not clicking in.
93.
That save is not enough.
And that is not the pickle puller, John, is it? If that is indeed a technical darting term, if it's not, it certainly is now, John Park.
Well, the only thing about it remotely pickled is it's sour. It's soured his mood here.
Oh, now this might make things a little sweeter, but does need another.
105.
Well, that will give him a finish if
136.
Van Gerwen does not wrap this up for the match, and he will not. 96 or something similar for MVG.
Oh, that
96.
huge
Robbie
third
Maguire,
dart to leave tops
126.
and really make it explicitly clear to Rob Cross, you must take this.
A chance is on. Treble or single will do in that segment. That will do to leave the bullseye to stay afloat in Birmingham. Ooh, it was that close to a level game in a last leg shootout.
Michael, you require
And now
40.
Van Gerwen for a precious 2 points at least. And Michael Van Gerwen picks up a precious 2 points at least. He'll face Gerwen Price for a place in the final as he chases what will be his first nightly win since 2024.